Welcome back to the WODprep podcast. I am your host, CJ DePalma. Tonight we are joined by, who are you?
I am coach, athlete, WODprep personnel.
Wow, that was really long. You're Nelson. All right.
Nelson.
Claire. Holy shit.
Also known as Melons.
Wear many hats. Yes, also known as melons.
Melons. What's up, guys? It is Friday night.
Dude, who knows?
It feels like Saturday. It really does.
Our voices are all gone.
Well, I mean, it's so
thriving.
interesting.
Yes.
You're always thriving. It's interesting because the CrossFit Games was 3 days and the Masters Games is 4 days.
Yeah.
It's an interesting concept.
That's the first time it's ever been 3 games. Or 3 days for the games. I feel like, back in like 2016, 17, it was like started on Wednesday.
Well, it started on Wednesday last year.
Yeah.
Or it started on Thursday last year.
Thursday.
The year before it was Wednesday. They always did it.
Yep.
Yes, my voice is going.
Fried.
It'll be even more raspy tomorrow for sure.
Yep.
But it is Friday night. We are halfway through the competition. 4 events down, 4 events to go. Competition literally just wrapped up seconds ago for the 35 to 39s. It's 8:45.
And it was rowdy.
Yeah, it was loud.
We were gonna go live, and it was literally too loud. And they're a solid 100 meters away.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're not right.
They're on the opposite end. Yeah.
Yeah, opposite end of this massive convention center.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, a good event to finish on, a fun event to watch for sure.
Yep.
But a good day. It'll last. It comes back. I'll drink some tea.
When you came back after the second, well, I don't know, sometime this afternoon you came back after you had been yelling, I think after all your athletes, maybe finish your second one. Either way, you came back to the booth and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. Well, that's why we just bring it really close. And we're just like this.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. That's why we have headset mics.
Yeah.
Mic in
And they are
mouth.
great. Yeah.
In mouth. It's like an implant
Yeah,
just
don't
in
do
my
that.
mouth. Yeah. So 4 days, 8 events, CrossFit Games, 10 events, 3 days. Super exciting still. Obviously, getting 40 people through or 30 people through an event is substantially different than getting
the floor's big.
500.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, all right, Nelson, what are you doing here at the CrossFit Games? And how was your set Friday?
Yeah, I'm here as a coach. I'm coaching an individual athlete and then 2 athletes on 2 separate teams, because also a part of like what the Masters community puts on is the Legends Classic. Used to be the Legends Championship, which is now its own separate thing. But it's really, really cool because at the same time, there are 4 floors in here, which is crazy to think about. Last year there was 2. And they kind of just cycled everything in and out.
3 last year.
3 last year? Okay, so 4 floors. Constantly there's stuff going on. And you can, if you ever find, a dull moment, you can literally just, hop in the stand and watch, a team competition going on at the same time, which is really, really cool. See, I'm coaching an individual in the 70-plus division who unfortunately had to withdraw due to an injury. So, hopefully we'll get her on tomorrow or at some point. Because she's awesome and has a really cool story and has been doing CrossFit for a long time. And then my 2 teams are doing pretty well. One is in first, and other one is in fourth. So a lot of good stuff there. And then also supporting, the different other WODprep coaches as well. We have a lot of athletes here for individuals. So a lot of people going in back-to-back times. I'm here to support as well. Glad to see, Stephen, we got some fans. I know I'm pretty split within the podcast, within the WODprep podcast community. So, so it's been a lot of fun. Also, voices a little gone.
There you go.
Barking commands and such across the floor. But yeah, it's a really great environment, man. Seeing people just that you haven't seen for a while, and then people in the space who, you didn't necessarily know were tied to Masters. Obviously, and with the teenagers too. It's cool seeing Ty and other high level athletes here over the course of the weekend. But yeah, Friday went well. So, got 2 more events for the team competition tomorrow.
For your athlete that isn't able to compete because of the last minute injury, the 70+, which just the fact that that's even a division now is insanely cool.
For sure.
For her, I know after the first day you were like, dang, this is a real bummer because she would have stacked up literally in first.
Yeah, I always that's one of those things where I between me and my close people, that's something I'll express, but at the same time, practice and simulation
close.
in your own gym
No, everyone
is
knows.
yeah, everyone knows now. Everybody's my friend. But yeah, I mean, competition always stacks up different when you're in your own gym, in your own conditions. But yeah, I mean, she did the 5K in like 29 minutes, which would have been first by over 2.5 minutes. She's a really good runner. Some of the events today would have definitely like shaken things up, and we knew that going in.
That was going to be my ask.
Yeah, which I mean, and part of that is just the nature of the 70 plus division with as you guys talked with Bob and Joe, some of the movements themselves with what came out with pistols. Obviously they didn't have weighted pistols, but regular pistols, handstand push-ups, which, like I see both sides. Like at some point, we are trying to find the, 10 fittest 70-year-olds in the world. Safety should be a concern. And then just, generally the movement, like lexicon, I guess, for someone that age, like they decided not to go with a overhead squat and decided to modify for a front squat. I don't know if that was for safety versus judging standard issues, but throwing a pistol in there is just as challenging.
I think it was the claim was due to shoulder fatigue over the course of the weekend. So that was just the statement that I heard. But also, I've heard a lot of talk about an overhead squat being something that they want to see for all age divisions.
For sure.
So it would be something that I would not be surprised to see next year for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, it's something too where like I really liked their response with like volume based injury, right? Like 20 pistols at the end. At that point, it's a skill test, not a capacity test. It's a capacity test prior to that for sure. And I'm sure we'll get into the wonderful competitive movement that is the kettlebell hang clean here in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, she's bummed. But we've already kind of lined up a surgeon for, because she detached her distal head of her bicep. And we're gonna get right back to it. And first thing she said to me was like, I'm excited for next year. And I'm like, good, because we're not going anywhere.
That's awesome. That is so cool. And she's what, she's 70?
Yeah, she gets turned 70.
Yeah, cool.
Been doing CrossFit like since before 2012. So been in the game for a long time, loves it. Had a whole community here, which is really cool. I'll probably be sporting her shirt on Sunday because she has a little like fundraiser shirt that she made, and she made sure I had one, which was awesome. But yes, I mean, but like the coolest part too, it's not like she's gone. She's here supporting all of her friends. It's one of like CrossFit is one of those crazy awesome sports where like your competitors really are also your friends. I mean, obviously when you're in the warm-up area, there's a point where you turn everything off and kind of run your own race, but afterwards everybody's talking to each other and you communicate at different points throughout the year as well. So it's really cool to see her still want to be here and support everybody just because she loves the sport so much.
Heck yeah.
What are you laughing at?
I love Nelson so much. I was Googling lexicon.
Oh yeah, no, I always I got to teach CJ a new word every day.
I actually don't know if you used it right. But
I definitely did.
I don't think so. How did you use it?
I think I said like within the movement lexicon for a 70-year-old.
I guess so. It's more specific to like
words,
language. Yeah.
Okay, but I mean,
Yeah, I understand. I get it. I just never. I just had to Google it.
Do you want to read the definition? I do enjoy looking up definitions.
A little.
You learn a lot here
very
on the WODprep podcast.
What is it? What's the vocabulary for the day? Right. Lexicon is essentially a vocabulary often associated with a specific language, field of study, or individual. Anywho.
Okay.
All right.
CJ, how'd your Friday go?
Well, the CrossFit Games brings out the best and the worst of people, I think, in a lot of athletes, and intensity is a real thing. And they didn't have a lot of volume yesterday, but I think a lot of soreness is really showing in a lot of athletes. One of my athletes, from missing a clean and probably just the intensity of lifting really fucking heavy because she's strong, is she has some back pain, and so it's unfortunate, right? We're working through that, and it really hindered her ability to perform today on the first workout. The back pain itself didn't, but it was the byproduct of not being able to hinge on 50 or however many hang cleans she ended up doing, and so she did poorly on that workout, which it was for sure a damage control one already.
Okay. Yeah.
She didn't get last, so couldn't have been that bad. Like it could have been worse, I suppose. But it really turned it into a muscular endurance workout even more than what it was, and that's like a challenge point for the athlete.
Sure.
I just also want to make it clear that I don't know what time it is, but Mayhem didn't run a spectator workout at the middle of the night. We did.
Volunteer.
So, yeah, volunteer.
Yeah.
We did. And they've been done since like 4, just saying. We were here late.
Yeah, I was out there screaming, playing Big
we were
Booty
late.
Mix for everybody. So
This is where, since I'm not currently, anyway, I can just call this out. I like doing this. So watching you guys with your athletes is awesome.
Sorry.
No, I literally pulled it up on my phone right now. But okay, so watching you guys with your athletes is awesome. Your commitment and caring is what makes WODprep one-on-one coaching so great. So shout out, Stephen. Thank you for that. And I think it's just really, it's been cool because of course, like they have been WODprep for years.
Couple years.
Yeah. And so, but me being here at this event, I can just speak to that from a perspective of like a newbie kind of hanging out with the crew, you know? And so seeing even in the debrief that we did, which is so fun to get to do with the team afterwards, and y'all talking about like the care for the athletes that you reference, you're seeing it and I'm seeing it, and it is so real. And it's really, that was something I actually wanted to even touch on, was just like the emotions. I wanted to ask you guys, like as the coaches on the floor with your athletes, warming them up, cooling them down, being out there, calling the shots while they're out, you know, getting the game plan together, the emotional roller coaster that you ride and what that's like.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. Like, it's different, right? Like, I mean, whether it's the open or whatever level of competition you find yourself at, most of us in the space know what nerves feel like prior to a workout. And coaches experience the same thing. It's just different. As the athlete, you know, the expectation is usually like, I've worked so hard, I don't want to let my people down. And then, you know, but like you're within your own control of that when you're on the floor, versus like when you're the coach, it's the same kind of nerves. It's, oh my gosh, my athlete's been working so hard. I like, you know, don't want to let them down by their own performance and how that reflects on me. And it's this weird kind of crazy back and forth. I mean, it's awesome, obviously, in a situation like this where, like, you know, all of our athletes for the most part are remote. We interact with them daily, but don't get to be with them in person, right? So it's a really special thing to be able to sit down and be with them in that moment and share in their, you know, their highs and their lows. And I mean, even like I didn't have any individual athletes competing today, but being able to work with some of our other coaches' athletes just in tandem while they're going back and forth. I mean, it gets super emotional, right? Whether it's, you know, them performing a movement that they didn't know that they were going to do, or like, you know, they have a minute left and they're rowing for their life. And, you know, you just know what that feels like. And, you know, the resolve and the, you know, not quitting at that point until like they literally hear the buzzer beep. I mean, you know, it gets you emotional, and it definitely like brings you back as to why we all do this. And, you know, the connection is just really, really special.
Mm-hmm.
Something that, like, you know, you can't really replicate.
Yeah, I mean, I love having Nelson on the show because I don't have to talk. This is great.
Oh my goodness, CJ,
so
we
awesome.
want to know what you think.
Oh my gosh, everyone knows what I think. I sit on this podcast
every Friday,
every week.
Wait, are you actually enjoying being quiet over there?
Oh my god, for what it's worth, I do enjoy being quiet. I also enjoy having an outlet to not have to be quiet.
And this topic in specific is one that you're very well versed with, and I would think would want to maybe, I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe you're done.
So, no, I mean, man, like Larry said, he loves the commitment to your athletes. And so, and what Steven said, Steven's a great dude, right? Steven's a little biased. Like, Steven is like, while he has the CrossFit bug, he's got the WODprep bug. So, you know, I think as a coach, you put in a lot of time and effort, as much and almost as much as your athletes train.
Yeah, honestly.
And their success means a lot to me. And I have a very inappropriate way of viewing it, and probably like an inappropriate relationship with all of my athletes as far as like how tied to their success I am, as far as like how I view my success as a coach, which is like coaching 101 is that's like not the case. You shouldn't do that. And I just don't have that emotional maturity to do so. And so I'm very tied to their success. I'm very tied to their failure. I'm very tied to their struggles, especially coming into this world through pain and injury, which just about everyone I've ever coached, like has had emotional turmoil, like either when they joined or throughout our tenure that I've had to work with, through, and really be a part of, because I'm a physio and because, you know, I am type A and I don't like people going to find other opinions because, as Claire says, CJ has an opinion. So thus, there's too many cooks in the kitchen. So when you do that, you're really tied to like all of their success and all of their failures and all of, failure is probably the worst word possible, all of their like tribulations and struggles. Right.
Yep.
And so, like I will get emotional when they do really well. Like, and you'll see me and we have a photographer here who's capturing a lot of it that isn't always captured, which is cool.
Yeah, CJ's one like lean away from being on the competition floor. So.
And you can hear it, right? We've only had, there's one event. One event was a run, which I couldn't talk at all.
Sure.
Another event was a lift, which was loud, but I didn't have to
There's
yell.
not a lot.
Yeah, she's
not
like
a lot
your
to say.
athletes
So
are right
like,
there
this is a totality of like 30 minutes of yelling.
Yeah.
Right. And so it'll get worse. And this is just how I am. And I love my athletes, like truly have like care for them as humans and well past just especially these two ladies and the other couple ladies that are here that are my athletes that are just spectating.
Right.
And so it's it's such a privilege to be able to truly like live vicariously through them, right? Like my aspirations and goals, are no different than Nelson's are currently. And it was to like be on this floor or the main floor at some point, right? And those things are not available to me anymore. And I live vicariously through my athletes, right? I made a vow to Ben a long time ago that I have a goal and it's to grow in this coaching space. And like, we work really, really hard at that. Right.
Yep.
And so like the success of the athletes, isn't a direct, like a direct response to how good or bad of a coach I am, but I feel it is. Like my athletes do really well, then I'm a good coach. If they do really bad, then I didn't prepare them well enough, and so and not a lot of coaches don't have that sentiment, but I think for me, it's what keeps me tied to my athletes outside of just words on paper and progressions and things like that. And so I certainly don't suggest that mindset for a lot of people because it's extremely
turbulent,
exhausting. It's long. Like it's a
because to get here, there's a lot of failure. Not there's a lot of tribulations.
Yeah, it's relentless.
Yes,
right. Like very much. I say everyone's like, "How's being a dad?" I'm like, relentless. Like Bennett is just relentless in the sense of like he is going to be him, and I have to be there with him in whatever he is going to bring.
Yep.
Same with being a coach that like is tying themselves to success and failure to their athletes, and being in that state. So, but I love it. I mean, I wouldn't rather it any other way. Like I don't think I could be like other coaches where, you're confident in yourself and then it's up to the athletes to execute, which it certainly is. And logically that's the better decision, but I'm not, it's like of how logical I am, this current thing, I'm not, I'm very like off the sleeve, like off the cuff. Like I'm just like, my emotions are on my sleeve at all times. And, it means a lot to me.
I think that's the biggest thing that you kind of like pointed on too, is that I think that honestly, if you don't have some form of opinion on that or like feel that way as a coach, then you're not a good coach. Where it is or where it lies is just, how much are you willing to kind of show that? And I think that the fact that, you do wear a lot of that just really more or less just deepens the connection between you and your athlete. Because I mean, just like when the athletes that are out there on the floor, like seeing how much you want them to do it and how much like you're screaming at them to get there, and then they do said thing. I mean, like that is something that cannot, like I said earlier, like be replicated. So I feel like just this idea of like all the coaches should have that mindset. It's just being able to regulate it when things are really, really good and being able to regulate it when things are really, really bad.
Sure.
So yeah.
Passion.
For sure.
Yeah. Double-edged sword. For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Love it. But at the same time, I mean, what's the alternative, right?
Yeah,
less of interest to me.
Exactly.
So,
right.
So be it.
100%.
You work a long day, you care a lot, you ride the wave, and you experience life. You are LIVIN.
You say that all the time.
All right.
LIVIN.
That's right.
All right. You want to talk about what's actually happening in the competition?
Yeah, you want to go to leaderboard?
Yeah,
Might as
let's do
well.
it.
Sweet.
So do we want to start
It's
just
very
kind of
small.
with a recap of what the events were today?
Sure. I think everyone. I mean, we talked about a lot on
Sure.
the,
Okay. Gotcha.
on
Yeah.
the podcast. So we'll just go event 3, and then you want to manage the thing, and then cool, sweet, and then we'll keep on our phones so we can go see if anyone's.
Sweet.
Cool. Start 35s. Is everything up?
Hey,
Yep.
Lito's in the chat. What's up,
What's
Lito?
up, Lito?
Looks like it. Yeah. I mean, looks like it. Man, Mark one got what, third in that workout? Jumped all the way to fourth, or jumped to first off of that one. That's huge for him. I mean, yeah, that's such an interesting workout with that last one where
Marquand Jones in the lead. Let's fucking go.
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Not that I don't want Scott Panchik to win, just from nostalgia, but let's fucking go, Marquand.
Oh, that top 5 is pretty legendary.
Yeah, definitely some former games athletes there. I mean, I think Chase is
all former games athletes.
Yeah.
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 Right.
Yep.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, all the way down to 6'2" with Sam. So I mean, yeah, like it's one of those things that, talking about, it was interesting. Like CJ and I were having a conversation about the first workout today, like prior to the competition starting, and how, the workout would be expressed so differently by different age groups.
Mhm.
And obviously like the stimulus should be intended for everybody, but then adapted based on, needs of the age group. But it was like, I don't think, in our conversation, it's like, yeah, it's gonna be really hard for those guys to get back to that second round with 53-pound kettlebells, and they smoked it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was really, really cool to see that. I think that's a testament to the programming. We obviously, I'm sure, have discussed, ad nauseum the kettlebell hang clean, but just outside of that, I think that the concept of a workout that it's that muscle enduring, and who's smart with their sets, who can hang on to a grindy set of thrusters, and who, obviously is showing as close to virtuous positions as you can in the pistol, will win that workout. And yeah, it's been really cool. I also want to give a shout out. I think he is probably within the top 10, but I just, like my kind of like dark horse of the competition was Henry Matthews, who looks like he might just be outside the top. But as a Masters athlete, there's a few Masters athletes that are still out there competing in the open field. And I know I know he was one that was at Syndicate, which I mean, impressive to do as a Masters athlete. And I think he also was on the podium last year too as well. So maybe it's not so much of a dark horse, but definitely like it seems like a more stacked field from the 35 to 39 males compared to last year.
Yeah, it's stacked for sure.
Yeah, it's like more guys are just sticking around. They're like, even though I'm aging out or whatever, aging up, I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Aaron, I don't understand your question. Panchik's looks good on IG. How is everyone else's?
Thank you.
Look 2 up. He just said it was hard to
follow
from home, which I'm not. Yet again, we're not from there. We're not where you are, so give us more context.
Okay, I thought he might have been referring to the hang cleans, but maybe not.
Probably.
Yeah, because it was pretty clear, and obviously it was made a somewhat big deal on social media that Scott, despite it being slightly slower, held like what is a definitive standard.
Yeah, I mean, he got second. So
yeah,
yeah. So yeah, I mean the standard. I mean the verbiage they use were elbows in front of the midline, right? And so even like a really tight kettlebell receiving, like meets that standard, right? Like a traditional kettlebell clean. A lot of people didn't do that. They had this like flip,
like
throw,
elbows,
like this position here. And it stinks, right? There are certainly a lot of people that were getting away with a lot of shit standards for that clean. That's a really
hard movement.
It's a weird movement. I mean, it doesn't have to be. I think it's a pretty easy one to judge. It's like it was 2 pieces: elbow touches or kettlebell touches upper and lower arm, right? Or touches the upper arm in any capacity, and the elbow has to be in front of the midline. But I think it really falls on the judges having the balls to just no rep people. It really is, and they just don't, And
then especially the head judge.
That's unfortunate, right? And but no, I mean, well, the head judge I think did a decent job coming through.
Yeah.
Right? But like
the head judges here are no joke. They are head judges all over the place.
And but there's 15 on the floor. It's not 10. That makes a difference, right? And so it's hard to come back and through. And so as soon as the couple times I saw it, most of the time, you know, we even watched a lot of live heats, but when we did, and I did see it, I saw someone get reprimanded probably 8 of the 10 total times. And then I saw that athlete, as soon as that head judge walked away, like revert back.
Right
like
back.
We've all done that. You know, I mean, like we've all like been skirting the line, got yelled at, and they're like, all right, I'm skirting the line again. You know, and it's like, it is what it is. And it's unfortunate. And, you know, you can call it gamesmanship or whatever, this like playing the game. But, and so, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It stinks. Yeah, I mean, Lito's in the 35. I think a lot of judges were fairly strict at the brief.
Yeah.
I mean, I did see a lot of no reps, you know, but in a lot of the age groups, I didn't see a lot of no reps too, right? There's definitely different levels of coaches, judges in different age groups too, right? I mean, there just is. Like,
yeah,
there's
fair.
definitely some like.
But it's also to be said with the kettlebell hang clean itself, we saw many different variations of the movement based on what age group you're on.
Right.
Like, and we saw a lot of people in like the 55 plus age groups because the kettlebells were so light, just essentially grabbing the horn of the kettlebell and like reverse bicep curling and having the bottom of the bell hit here, which like after, getting more explicit direction as to what the standard was, meets the standard. It's just not like what we traditionally think of as like a kettlebell hang clean, like with the kettlebell like behind the, shoulder and like elbows up stacked up top.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and I will say, I'm going to push back on that. As far as the levels of judges, do we actually know that there are like any specific judges that would be dedicated to different anything here? I mean, yes, at some competitions you might see like, hey, these certain judges for the elites or something like that. But at a situation like this, I don't. Do we know anything to that effect, or is that? I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know about
it's
that.
for sure speculation. But I mean, I guess it just seemed like it from maybe what was seen in
videos.
Yeah, videos,
Sure.
and but I mean, the video that's been posted, I'm pretty sure was 35 males doing the workout.
Yeah.
So that could be null and void. Lito, this is a great question. Would you have kettle hang snatch would have been a bazillion times better. Now, there's no way it would have ran the numbers right now. You could have won like 50 toes to bar, 40 kettlebell hang snatch.
I was saying like single arm snatch, single arm thruster, like pretty similar. Maybe you get a little deeper.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're already using one kettlebell already for the pistol. I also thought what was interesting, and I saw a lot of variance between age groups. A lot of judges were enforcing what seemed like the standard of when you finished the thruster, you had to place the kettlebell very kind of quaintly in the corner. I also saw some were just they're throwing it and just letting it go and then picking a bucket back up after. Again, I mean, there's so many things. I'm not necessarily knocking the judges or anything, but again, potentially solved by making it just a single kettlebell. I still like the workout in and of itself. It's just, there's always potential to improve, which I think at the end of the day really helps, like with the fact that Bob and Joe are pretty open to feedback and want, this should just be constantly improving every year.
Yeah. And Lito's comment about swapping it to a snatch, that's definitely the feedback that I heard from athletes throughout the course of the day, et cetera, was like the what would have been preferred in that situation for the sake of judging standards or literally just the experience of the movement itself.
I love a kettlebell snatch.
Yeah.
Kettlebell cleans are weird.
Or even like a dumbbell clean, something like swap for a different implement or swap to a different movement itself. But alas,
Kenny, we're back.
It is what it is.
People say I have a country accent. Do you think I have a country accent?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
I've gotten
not
it before.
Not even a little bit. If we were to guess, mine would be a little more country than yours, and mine's pretty neutral, pretty Orlando.
Me being from Oklahoma, you would think that I would have one.
But I mean, you moved to Austin, which like everyone there is losing their country accent.
I just don't think I had one, but yeah, sure, whatever.
You didn't have one at all? How long have you been gone?
Only 3 years.
Oh yeah, that's
a little over 3.
Yeah. Just the emceeing, it pulls out the phonetics in you.
Yeah, that's what did it.
Moving on to the women, 35 to 39. Looks like Caroline Klutz finishing on top after day 2. I've lost count. But really tight race there, honestly, between like first and fourth. With Caroline Prevost, obviously perennial long-time games athlete.
What's the point separation there?
8 points.
Not much.
Yeah. Caroline Klutz too, like she's still very much on like the active competition circuit.
Dude, she competes all the fucking time.
Like I think like Fittest of the Coast, saw her there. Pretty sure she was at Metcon Rush. pretty sure she did syndicate either on a team. And she was on a team, right? She competed at the games.
She
on
competed
a
at
team.
the games.
Yeah.
Didn't they podium?
I think they did podium. Yeah. So, did she not win? Am I just like completely not doing my research here? Was she on the team that won?
I'm just trying to find out.
Yeah.
No, they got third.
Third. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
no, they won.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
there we go. Yeah.
No,
so,
third.
I mean,
they got third.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Back and forth, but still really established games athlete. And to turn around and be here competing again is intense. So, hats off to her.
She'll for sure do whatever's next. I'll be surprised if she's not like doing crash qualifier or did crash qualifier last weekend.
Yeah. And then qualified. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Any surprises here, like based on 35 or 39? I mean, still a lot of competition
did you
left.
just walk right over Carolyn?
No, I'm
No,
just
we
saying.
referenced-
I'm just like saying before we go into like just the top three. And how the day
We just got
went.
to shout out Lito. Lito's first.
Absolutely.
Lito's a longtime watcher of the show and very active in the YouTube world. And walked on the show the other day, and I mean, she's just an all around badass, and she's having a great game so far.
Yeah, sitting in the top 10.
I think she'll do, if she can manage the bike tomorrow, she'll do pretty well. She grinds pretty good. And she's worked really hard on muscle up. So it sounds like tomorrow can be a good day for her. And she looks like she's going to do well and make it into the final day, which is great.
Epic.
I mean, I love this race between Carolyn and Caroline. Yeah. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, a
It'll be
lot of
fun
training
race
back
for
and
them tomorrow.
forths.
Renata says, is Bronislaw Linkowicz there? Nope.
No, Brian didn't do the Masters this year.
Not much
All right.
more.
Yeah, it would have been really impressive to see him on event 2. Probably one of those guys where doesn't do so hot in event 1, but then I would assume probably wins.
He would have walked.
Yeah.
Like he always does.
Probably would have won event
Just
2.
like he always
I think,
does.
yeah. Chrissy Middleton, obviously also like long time in the space competitively, sitting in the top 5.
Mm-hmm. Christine Best.
Yeah. I mean, it's still, they call Saturday moving day for a reason. There's going to be a lot between some of those events
tomorrow's going to be so long. 3 workouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are going to be run through it.
Yeah, it's going to be busy.
Yeah.
All right, let's just roll through.
It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
The energy in here. I mean, like the energy in here, honestly, for the events today got pretty electric. And for 3 events in here tomorrow, back to back to back, this is going to get.
It's going to be a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna get hectic.
It's going to be running back and forth between events. I mean, I know a lot of people are torn. I mean, it's also something to be said. I know there was a lot of media that went into the, fact that there are multiple families here with athletes competing in both the teen and masters division. Whereas last year, with them being on the same weekend, some like sacrifices and logistical things needed to be made. But, I'm curious if there's any potential for like son and daughter and mom and dad competing on the floor at the same time in different spaces.
Yeah.
But
well, based on the ages, it's possible to have a full blown 3-generation situation. So I don't know that we do.
I don't know if that's happened. If they are, we need to get them on the show.
Totally. Yeah.
That would be crazy. That's definitely where the future of the sport's going, though, which is just super, super
Yes, it
cool.
is. Yep.
Cool.
Testament to the methodology through and through.
Moving into the women's 40 to 44 division, Jamie, who was on the show this morning,
I don't know.
At some point in time, sitting in third. That's awesome. Shout out to her. Had a great day 2 after, I think I would assume she probably likes to run and, 190 at 40 to 44 seems like it'd be pretty solid, but some really strong lifts there.
Dude, there's some strong bitches up there, dude.
So Carly Newlands out of Bear Canyon CrossFit sitting in first, and then Susan Plek, probably saying that wrong, out of CrossFit Zvol. I would assume that might be somewhere over in Europe.
Is Jamie not affiliated? We have to have a conversation about that.
Where's she based out of? Do you know?
I don't know. Like the Midwest somewhere,
Okay.
I think. She used to do WODprep programming for a short time.
Shout out WODprep programming.
Just Snap.
Yeah, Dakota.
Out of Coda. Works with Taylor Self.
Yep.
She's having a good game. I think she kind of got in pretty low, so to be 12th
Yeah.
after a lift. CrossFit's really good. She's doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Rebecca Voigt Miller sitting in 10th.
God, for like 13th games.
It's awesome.
Crazy, dude.
Definitely had a good first event too, and I can see doing really well on the bike one tomorrow with the handstand push-ups.
Imagine that longevity at that level.
Or just
the
CrossFit
willingness
for
to
13.
want to do it.
Yeah.
Which also, like, speaking of like longtime games athlete, Sam Briggs is here, so we've seen her walking around. Got to get her on the podcast. All right, going into the men's 40 to 44 here.
What?
Do you want that?
I didn't hear what.
Are you not listening to Nelson?
Graham
I
Holmberg,
totally missed that part.
2011 winner, 2010 CrossFit Games champion, sitting in 7th. Things, and what's cool here too, man, is that like, it exposes you to a whole nother range of athletes, right? We know the names of a lot of other people, but like, there are a lot of people that kind of like just surprise you with how well they're doing. I know going back to the 35 to 39 division, guy who won the run was not on my radar. Dino Sana, who got second and was essentially like battling between Scott throughout the entirety of the Husfeldbag workout. I think that the Masters competition does a really good job of just bringing out people from all corners of the world to show and express fitness outside of just, your mayhems and your boulders and even your WODpreps. So really cool to see that. So, going back to the 40 to 44, a lot of these guys, honestly, I don't know that much about, which is honestly pretty cool. Looks like the top guy, Rudolph Berger, more or less is, not I wouldn't say run the table, but, it's a tight race between top three. Yeah, won both events, but, only a 20-point gap between him and Josh Boonstra. So pretty awesome. And then, just some other, like, big names who have been competing for a while. Kyle Ruth out of TTT sitting in 9th. Patrick Midgley, I definitely recognize the name there. So a lot of names to look at. A lot of people, if you have someone that's competing in the chat, shout them out. Let us know, inform us, because
keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
Yep. And Jeffrey, Jay Birch said, I saw Nick Matthew today, and then we just referenced that Sam's in the house. So I will say it is definitely like the who's who is here. I've been really.
I somehow did not see me. He must be wearing a full shirt. Otherwise, I feel like I would have seen him.
Yeah, that's why you didn't see
no
him.
crop top, I guess.
No,
or maybe he was. Who knows?
It's like camouflage if he's wearing a full shirt.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We got. Let's see. It's getting kind of crazy in here. They're setting prep, getting set up for tomorrow. Aaron's saying.
Oh yeah, how is
Jamie
Pat
was?
Yeah, we'll get there. I'm curious as well.
Set up out of
and
Michigan.
Also about Pat, which was so freaking cool. Whenever Ben was doing the bar muscle up skill stuff yesterday on the floor with the spectator floor, working everybody through progressions. And that, I swear, it was like blocked for like an hour, and he spent probably 90 minutes. I mean, the amount of one-on-one work that each individual got was like something else. It was really cool to get to watch. But Pat spent a good chunk of time over there just consuming it. And it was really fun to just to watch Ben do his thing.
Yeah, we're speaking on that shameless plug. If you're here and you're watching and you want to come work on some skills, Ben's going to be dedicating a lot of time tomorrow to essentially helping you with whatever you want to work on. So we have something here at the WODprep booth where you can basically scan and work with Ben in person. So, you get to work with the WODprep guy up close and personal. Something that, I've been wanting to do forever. So moving on to 45 to 49. Jason Grubb, top of the leaderboard there, but not by much. Definitely had a pretty solid day 2.
Is it going to happen? Is he going to get dethroned?
Yeah.
This will be what, year 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Massive.
Yeah, he's
impressive.
Fit, dude.
Yeah.
He's a fit fucking dude for sure.
Definitely a good advocate for the sport too.
I mean, obviously,
Masters
to place that high, but just the idea that I think, what did they say his body weight is? I was listening to someone earlier. They were saying he's like 210 or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And the mile times were like 6 something. Just anyway.
Yeah, he's a big
wild.
Dude. Yeah, I mean they're all bigger guys. It's interesting. He has like the most interesting physique of like the elite of the elite in really in the entire sport, because like he just looks like a normal dude. Like
got the Ben Smith build.
Yeah, he's got like a Ben Smith build. I mean, he's certainly like it's just normal. Like even when he takes shirt off, I'm like, you won 5 games 5 times in a row. I mean, he's like a sleeper.
Yeah.
He's got a sleeper build, and he's fucking savage.
Man, when you get told you have a sleeper, that's a real bummer.
I've been told I have a sleeper build a million times, so it's okay. I can repeat that
until they see your calves, and then they're like, "Whoa."
Lito said my husband got 7 unbroken double unders in Ben's seminar, and he loved it, which is super cool because literally every person who attended that did in fact get their unbroken dubs, which wasn't a thing.
Do I have a big head?
I don't know.
I got big ears,
dude, I got big ears too. I got a big nose,
and they can't see your ears.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't see them. Yeah, it's filled with a bunch of air. So
that's right.
All right, moving on to, let's go to women's 45 to 49.
Let's go.
CJ, you want to take this one? This is
Sure.
one of your divisions.
Yeah, Kelly Friel, obviously running away with it. And then we have I think she's America's sweetheart, truly. Val Vobril, still plugging along. I mean, Val's podium games athlete. I mean, she's been doing it as long as Val. Who did we just talk? No, who did we just talk about in the last age group?
Rebecca
Voigt Miller. And so it's awesome to watch her. So I have a good story about Val. I got to go to Power Monkey in 2014 on I was selling compacts, and so we went as a sponsor, and they sent me, which was cool because I just got to go experience it and like just sort of promote it a little bit. And on the when I arrived at the airport, they had a shuttle to pick us up, and I rode with Val, and like immediately it was just like we've been besties forever. Like she was so cool.
Yeah.
And she remembered we were sitting there warming up because Jen is in her in her division, and we were like sitting right next to each other, and she like almost got hit with a barbell, and I was like, that was close. And she was sitting right next to me and opened the conversation. I was like, hey, we rode a van together going to Power. She goes, I remember Power Monkey, whatever year, 14 it was. And I was like, that was such a gracious, that was one of my favorite weeks of CrossFit because that was like, not to say Power Monkey is any different now, but Power Monkey, if you guys have never been, is the coolest like CrossFit camp ever.
Yeah, they always pull crazy. I mean, Emily Rolfe, I think, was just
announced. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you go. Do you know anything about it?
Very little.
So you basically go to like.
That's about it.
Did you ever go to summer camp, like a sleepover summer camp for like a week or 2 weeks or anything like that when you were little? No, like any type of like retreat camp or anything like that. No.
A couple of times.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like a.
So think about that. And like you stay in cabins and like everyone's in the same room. They're like bunk beds. You're all staying together. And then you like get up, you all eat breakfast. The whole camp eats breakfast together. And then you go have activities for the day. That's exactly what it is, except for CrossFit and gymnastics, CrossFit gymnastics. And it's so fucking cool.
That is cool.
It's so cool.
Yep.
Plus they also do it like all over the world, which is kind of wild.
Oh, do they? I thought they still just did it in Tennessee.
They do it in Tennessee, but they also do it in like South Africa. I want to say like Croatia. Like wild places.
Oh, I didn't know that. Did you know Val? I did know Val as a teacher. She taught. She never stopped working. She still works. She's a mom of at least a couple, and all through her CrossFit tenure the whole time.
That's awesome.
I mean, even being the highest level. I mean, she finished second at the games, and like
Carolyn Prevost is still a teacher.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. Looks the same. She does. It's crazy. She looks exactly the same. Exactly the same. Power Monkey or competitors seminar. Power Monkey. Is there a difference? I don't know the difference. Yeah, Margo Alvarez too. Anyways, all right. So moving down, we'll highlight my athlete Jen McKesh.
Yeah.
Not our best day. Best finish so far with a 9th.
Yep.
And then
she's really good at that kind of stuff too. Just
yeah, she's super powerful athlete. Yeah. The workout 3 was unfortunately a damage control event already, and we're having some back struggles. So the cane clean got even harder and really destroyed her shoulders and her grip. Wasn't able to swing, wasn't able to really hinge at all during it. So turned a hard event into a harder event. And she didn't get last, which is good. But it was a big hit. So that's unfortunate. But we'll do okay tomorrow. She's good at the bike and double unders. She's good at the sprint, deadlift, if we can get the bar off the ground and be safe with it. So that's what we're going to work on tomorrow. That's our main focus. And we've done, I don't know, no less than 1,000 muscle ups this year, like actually 4 figures. And so hopefully that's like always been a struggle point for her. Like external rotator, subscap, muscular endurance. She gets really fatigued. And so that's been a driving point of our training. And hopefully we'll be able to show that it's paid off tomorrow.
Yeah. And so it's one of those really hard things as an athlete too, or like as a coach coaching an athlete where, you're focusing on that. And then you have a big deadlift event directly in front of you and your back's hurting and you're not knowing what to do. And just as the coach, it's just hard, but super necessary to just keep your athlete present and like what can we control right now to not let it get too crazy. Cause I mean, long weekend, a lot of events. Definitely one of those things that's a lot easier said than done.
Sure. Yep, I agree. All right. Let's go to 50 male.
Yeah.
I don't know any of these people. Do you know any of these people?
Let's see. I do not know a lot of these people. We got Chad Pinther out of CrossFit Colfax.
Seems like he's sort of running away with it.
Yeah, 44-point lead. I mean, between it's 4 events though. I mean, it's definitely
it's the scoring is really wide, right? So like third place only gets 92. Eighth place, look at this. Eighth place gets 72 points. I mean, so that can be really made up really quick.
Yeah,
honestly.
So when you have 30 people,
we also have to remember too, though, they cut after tomorrow night.
Yeah, but I don't know how they do the scoring either. So
after they cut,
definitely,
and it's only one event.
Yeah.
After that, so
Dusty Highland, that's definitely.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy, dude. Dusty used to be bee's knees, the coaches in the space.
Yeah. Where is he?
Dusty coached everybody.
Where is he out of?
Whatever it says right there. Oh no, it was different.
But like, was he affiliated with any?
Yeah, he was
definitely named the. OPEC
for sure. OPEC guy.
Yep.
That's crazy. Dude, he's been doing this for forever.
Awesome.
Yeah. So a lot of if we're missing people in this 50 division, let us know, inform us.
Dogtown, thank you. God, dude, you
leave it to CrossFit.
Dude, you know everything.
Leave it to CrossFit.
Everything. Who are you? Are you Dusty?
Women 50 to 54 here.
That'd be crazy. Outed yourself.
Tracy O'Connell, I actually she has a daughter that competes as well, which is one of those cool too, back and forth things. Saw her this weekend. They're based out of Pennsylvania, out of CrossFit Advanced, so she's sitting pretty well in 4th, it looks like. So, but this is probably the tightest race that we have outside of the 35 to 39 males. Yeah, I mean 15, 28, 33, 34. I mean, that's a tight. Jen Dieter, tight. I mean, that's a tight race for a top 5 going into day 3.
Yep, agreed.
It's so crazy. There's so many people in the sport of CrossFit with the last name Ackerman, and I always try and see if any of them are connected to each other. It never seems like they
weird.
are. It's crazy.
Understand it. It's very strange. I agree.
Especially because they would all kind of line up age-wise to be related in some familial sense. All right. Anything to add on any of these athletes?
No idea of them.
We'll go into 55 to 59, which I mean, I feel like as WODprep coaches is kind of like our bread and butter in terms of athletes that we coach that are competitive in the space. So, obviously for those of you who may not know, this is where the age groups really kind of start to split and get, different scales, different rep schemes, but still output just as much. It's really interesting from the team perspective. The age groups for the teams this year are 35 to 44, 45 to 54, and then 55 plus. And really interesting seeing teams that are combined of 45, 45 to 54, and then being on that 54 side of things, competing with someone who's 45 and seeing just the differences in having to work together there. Little side note, just so we give the team some love. Yeah, pretty, stacked race here in 55 to 59 too. I honestly, with all of our athletes that are primarily in the female 55 to 59, we don't really get to see the guys at all. Shout out John. I never know how to say his last name.
Don Juan.
Yeah, John Juan. But he was on a team that I coached last year who finished 3rd at the Masters Games, and he made individual this year, which is awesome. Shout out to him. I also think there's another Brian Cunningham, who's also on that team. So really cool to see people make the jump from team to individual, just like it does in the regular CrossFit Games. That's a big deal. Again, not to shit on the teams, but I mean, as we know, in the sport too, it's just a different level, and teams is great exposure for being out there and being on the floor and testing your fitness in a different way too, with the communication aspect of things. But man, it's cool to see some of those athletes get that jump. And I know my one of the girls I coach in the 60 to 64 division, who's on the team that got with them 3rd this year, who's sitting in 1st right now. We're sitting in the warm-up area today, and she's like, man, we got to be here next year. And I'm like, I really also want to be there next year with you here. So, I mean, that kind of goes into the tying of the success and failures. I want to be here just as much as you guys want to be here too. So, we're going to try and make that happen.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Going to the 55 to 59, definitely have some athletes here that we can talk about. Cindy Hinkle, I know, just has typically, like dominated the 55 to 59 over the past couple of years. No, I feel like she's usually
55,
pretty...
so
so
she was dominating the 50 to 54 last year.
Okay.
So she's 55, and I think Colleen Little might be 55 or 56.
Yeah, I know she's coached by Mia out of TTT.
Colleen Little.
Yeah, I was sitting next to her yesterday or today during one of the events.
Good. That makes me feel better about screaming my face off for Rose to beat the shit out of Colleen in the
yeah, they were right next to each other.
As Mia
very stoic,
Mia's been standing right next to me the past 3 heats.
Yeah.
That's funny. So Rosewall is my athlete. She's sitting in third, tied for second, but the tiebreak goes to Colleen with the second place. Yeah, Rose is really fucking good at CrossFit, and she does really well at CrossFit things, and usually she doesn't do that great at running. It'll be a damage control double under event, but if she stays calm, she certainly has the capacity. What are you doing?
Just checking the comments here.
CrossFit said "nuck if you buck," and I like it,
bro.
Steven asking how do teams qualify for the games? They don't. They can just sign up. It used to be you could kind of get invited back when they made the Legends Championship here, but now that's its own thing. So yeah, if you guys, I will say there wasn't a ton of teams in some of the divisions because they're teams of 3 this year. So sign up for a team if CrossFit also saying that too. Yeah, so sign up for a team if you want to come here and at least have some fun and throw down. Yeah, I think the favorite part of the competition so far for me, like from a coach to athlete kind of spectator experience, was watching Rose get back to the second round of that rower, look at the clock, and just go, fuck.
She made an audible. She looked back. She got back at just under 10 minutes, and she gave an audible fuck. Rose doesn't like to hurt. She's really good at it, but she doesn't like to hurt, and she'll let you know.
You just can't be looking at the clock at that point in the workout.
I know.
Man.
I told her, I was like, don't look. I was like, you're going to get back there with so much time.
Yeah.
We had a big debacle. Even though she got 4th, it was her second best event of the week. She could have won the event by, I think by a decent bit. I mean, she's extremely good at toes to bar. When we did this in training, she went 10-10, 5-5-5.
Okay.
And she ended up at singles on the first round, like after 20, because, we get reliant on grips, and they have the chalkless grips, and these bars are super coated and chalked. And even though she hit it with a towel, it wasn't enough, because she couldn't get up there with like enough damp to dry it and all the things. And so, those that's on us for not training with like
options.
Yeah, with options. She's gotten used to chalkless, and so those are it's unfortunate, right? And it really did hinder. She could have won. Like, even though she got 4th, right, and she was
she made so much ground up on the rower. It was crazy.
It's funny because her row technique makes me so mad, but she won't change it. But it doesn't matter. I mean, she still has a sub 8.2K as a 59-year-old.
In what way? Like, I mean, because her stroke rate is a little like lower.
It's just not a good technique. It opens up. It's like pulley. She has a pause. Like a lot of just like fundamental things, but she can just hold a 2-minute pace at 59 years old. And I can't convince a lot of like even my younger individual athletes to hold a 157. I'm like, well, hey, this old lady over here is holding the 2 minutes. So you step your shit up.
Yeah.
And so, it's certainly one of those where like, is the juice worth the squeeze to try and change it? Probably not. Like, to put that much time in. Changing rowing technique takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because you're so ingrained. So I don't worry about it. She rows really well, and she can really dig deep. Had the toes to bar gone even a little better, because she got back through them the second time too, and she did singles almost the entire 40 reps, and so still was 4th, still chipped away. Was only, was pretty far out of 3rd, 20, whatever that is, 28 reps, but that would have been on the thrusters, so they would have been really quick, right? I mean, she would have made up the 96, but it is what it is. She grinded it out. She ended up she ended up 7th in workout 4, and the only person she really needed to focus on was Colleen, and she beat her out in the last length of the sandbag walk.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so did what she needed to do. Those girls were super fast in that workout.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty wild. So it's going to be a damage control early morning. She'll do good in the sled. She's strong. She's fast. If we can stay controlled and calm,
that workout's gonna hurt so bad.
Calm in our double unders will do well. And, muscle ups are damage control too. So our goal is, to stay close to the top of the leaderboard.
Right.
Here, because the last workout is extremely in her wheelhouse. Very good at all three of those movements in those volumes, in that load. So for the Sunday workout. So super happy with where she is. She's the oldest. I think she's the oldest one in the top 10. She has been the best at her specific age, like 58, 59, whatever. I don't think, besides the year she was 55, which was the last year she podiumed, I don't think anyone older than her ever actually beats her on the leaderboard.
Sure.
Like she's
so
fit. And she has so much, she has so much, what's the word? Like resiliency, like we were talking about with Ben earlier. Like she's just resilient. We've had surgeries and things, but she just keeps coming back. She's just super athletic.
Yeah, and I was just gonna build on that and say, I mean, that's something that obviously, if you're, well, I guess you could even say in the open division as well, right? Where it's like, you're seeing 17-year-olds qualify out of the female division. You're seeing 19-year-olds getting, going to the CrossFit Games, let alone getting in the top half of the field. It's tough, I'm sure, as someone who comes in at 55 or whatever age group you're coming in at, to just, consistently try and fight to be better every year, not only against the people that are aging up with you, but against the people that are coming up under you. So, I mean, it definitely is a testament to just like being that high up and being literally at the top of the age group. So those 60 plus athletes are going to have to step up their game next year.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Awesome. Going into
men 55, right? No.
Men 55. Yeah, did we cover? I think we did cover that. Yeah. So 60 to 64 here. So we get some of the fun names here. Is Cherry not in the 60 to 64 anymore? Maybe he aged up. Yeah, not.
I don't know anyone.
Don't know a lot of people in here.
Keep crushing it. Who's at the top? Just read their name.
Yep.
Yeah. At top three, we got Peter Harvey at a CrossFit Aloth.
Hell yeah.
But really close behind him, Paul McCrary, only 5 points back. Dan Robertson in third with 305 points from CrossFit Addict. Oh, okay. Well, that's local to me. It's about an hour south of where I'm at. So shout out Dan. He's out of Richmond, Virginia.
Heck yeah.
65 to 69 here. I wonder if he's coached by Trey. I have to figure that out. Mitchell Taylor from the men's 65 to 69. I heard, because they were right here in front of us. We were kind of setting up. Little shameless plug there. I heard, and he was just like start to finish, like wire to wire, crushing that that first workout this morning. As I see, he got first.
How far did he get first by?
Judy, we met earlier.
Oh, is it not going?
Not going, but I mean,
shit.
Oh, probably. I mean, probably 20 reps, if not 237. So only 4 reps. But I mean, it's just one of those things too, where kind of speaking on that too, like if you've ever been out on a competition floor, whether you're in like the first heat, last heat, wherever you're at, like there's just something about like, regardless of whether you're on your plan or not and you're executing or not, when the MC starts shouting your name and like the crowd responds, where like it just does something to you, man. So I mean, like just speaking on that, it's kind of wild when you get that.
Well, there goes that. Shit. They must be updating the leaderboard. Oh, they probably are. They're probably updating the schedule.
Yeah. Are we still live? Let's head back.
Yeah, we are. And this is no, it's not. It's going to do this. It's going to keep timing itself out. All right. We tried. We got close.
We could shout out Mason Alderman in the 16 to 17.
Oh yeah,
we had him on the episode earlier, and if you guys didn't go listen to that, you got to go listen to it at some point. We had Ben Alderman, the owner of the NorCal Classic, on, and he definitely shared some really cool stuff.
Yeah, we talked a lot about not CrossFit stuff. It was great.
It was, I mean, it was a broad range, but we talked about a lot of not CrossFit, but we also talked a lot about what is down the pipeline for them in 2026, and that was a cool conversation.
Yeah.
And then at the very end to bring in Mason, his son, who is 17, competing and has plans to train to become a Navy SEAL. I
That's
mean,
right. Tend to buzz.
Yeah, really cool. Really cool to get to talk to both those guys and appreciate their time.
Judy, are you here?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, Judy. Yeah, she came up.
Damn.
We
I
met.
guess I'm not cool enough.
But we're
What
friends.
happened here? Why does it feel like something's missing right here? Oh, they moved their clothes. There was like a rack of clothes right there, right?
Okay.
I was like, it feels
That's
empty.
off screen for anybody who's wondering what's happening.
All right,
We're
sorry.
just referencing the
And yeah,
booth.
in general, guys, if you
It's
aren't here,
altered.
I mean, obviously, we are. Last year we were podcasting from our hotel room, so now this is a little bit of a step up. But I mean, it's just again,
Such a shitty setup.
dude. It was. I mean, we made it work though. Like,
Wait, what are
you
you
want to talk about
referencing?
resiliency? We just last year how we were podcasting from the hotel room
Oh,
at the
yeah,
end of the night.
From that mic between three of us.
Yeah, and getting phone calls from Kevin like as he was competing and just throwing him on the podcast.
Yeah.
But just in general, guys, like
So bad.
the spectator
I
experience
love it. Look
here
how
is
far
just
you've come.
so wild. Lot more vendors than last year. A lot going on here behind me here. Love the repertoire. But yeah, so like really awesome from a spectator standpoint of just all the different things you can do. I know we shout out Ben for running what seemed like an endless amount of spectator experiences yesterday. We had a volunteer workout yesterday. Other major I won't say competition. Other companies in the space running stuff for the spectators today and tomorrow. So, so much going on there, a lot of different vendors here, a lot more vendors than last year. And also, I mean, Columbus is a cool area. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I will say that the convention center is just way more like easily accessible than Birmingham was. I really liked Birmingham. I was a little sad to see that left Birmingham because it seemed like a good spot. However, it's nice that like the convention center was kind of like in the basement of like, this, or at least where our exhibit hall was like 3 floors down.
Yeah, it was
and
weird.
It just took a while to get there. This is super easy. Columbus is really walkable. So I just, I think that, like I said, a lot going on behind me. I asked to be on the podcast today. So, maybe this just isn't for me. I swear I called it. I knew someone was going to say that. I knew CrossFit was going to say that. Yeah, we're having a fun time. We are having a fun time. I thought the mustache did help.
Nelson, you're doing great.
Yeah, it's okay.
Truly.
I mean, Nelson's carrying the podcast right
Yes,
now.
he
Which
is.
so great.
I always do when I come on.
That's not fucking true. Shut up. But you are right now, and I was
No, I
trying to give you a
appreciate it.
compliment, and you just tried to run with it. So I'm gonna
It's
shut it
okay.
down.
It's okay.
But-
Shut it down. I've been told by my people that I'm bad at accepting compliments, so I'll try and be better about it.
Well, you didn't accept it. You did, and then you jumped it. You were like, I always do this. But I guess that's okay.
I don't know.
Anyways,
it's really late.
But that was fucking hilarious. He is a great host. Nelson is
There we
great.
go.
The problem with Nelson is he's very much like
we'll divert real quick.
the problem with Nelson is he's very much like Travis. He's like, oh yeah, I really want to do the podcast, and then every time I ask him, he's like, no, I got to train. He's like, no, I got clients. I gotta do.
The Nelson Army is coming. I love it.
Yeah.
They're coming to my
Bring him
side.
out.
Nelson is great, and I would love to have Nelson on the podcast more,
Yeah.
but for some reason,
Nelson has a bedtime.
yeah, Nelson has a
preferred.
bedtime because he's got to get up and do his zone 1 for walking on his heels for an hour or whatever he has to do to become better at CrossFit. That supersedes being on the podcast. Thus,
Yeah.
you're not committed enough to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
She
But-
gets up and gets on the podcast. Well, I've known her half as long as I've known you.
But hey, when I make the games, I'll come on the
That's fucked
podcast
up.
and then I'll just be a guest. How about that? All
Bet.
right. Anything else
No, I like
from
this.
do you guys have any questions? I mean, obviously, we're here, so the camera viewing experience is a little bit different. I know, obviously, it was interesting. I saw multiple events, or just really the one for like men's 35 to 39. It looked like Sean and Chase weren't like actively commentating that event. I mean, obviously we're here to support all the age groups, but you would figure just with the amount of games athletes coming from
Who was doing it? We just watched it. Who was doing it?
I'm talking for event 4.
Oh yeah, well they choose. They're only broadcasting one event a day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So the last event of the day. So it'll be the
that
last
seems
event
like
tomorrow.
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's a much faster, more kind of like exciting event to spectate. So I guess that makes sense.
Oh yeah, the end of the day tomorrow is going to be cool.
Has the electronic scoring. I mean, it's from what I've seen from the events I've seen it on. the weights were accurate last night, and the race was accurate on the GHGs. So the way they did it is they contracted. They got Navy ROTC guys to come in, and they
crazy.
it's an app on their phone, and they just go like this. They just tap it.
Corresponding directly with the.
I was at first. I was like, because I see all these
No,
people.
I don't think they're doing. The judge has no influence on it.
Yeah.
Like it's not like the games where like the judge will always make a rep. They are educated in the workout and exactly how to count the reps.
I misunderstood that. Wow.
Because like they just listen, and because there's no like it would be too fast. Like the GHG workout's way too fast, right? Like you know what I mean? So I think
I think that's great. The idea of like, make it easier on the judge by like they are only enforcing movement standards, and then obviously, counting as well, but having that backup there. It is super interesting though. I didn't realize this until we're out on event 2. I just see all these people in like the classic like yellow Navy ROTC shirts. And one of us, I think we were there, and one of them asked us a question. I forget what it was.
I don't think you're with me.
Maybe not. Well, no, it was for Jen's event. And she just kind of like looked up and like asked us a question, and like we answered it, and I was just like, oh, that's weird. She's clearly not a judge, but I think it's cool. Like just adding again, it's a cool concept of potentially legends, being a bit more flexible with, bringing new things into the space, and then almost being like a sounding board for CrossFit if it were to work for something like that. I don't understand this.
He's calling you old.
There we go.
young
and old.
Just toying with you a little bit.
Button. But overall, man, it's been an awesome 2 days, and got 2 more days.
Mm-hmm.
They changed one of the team events, which is interesting. There's no longer
what was there? So
it was a worm. It was a synchro burpee over the worm, followed by worm clean and jerk and worm lunge for rounds. And it's teams of 3, and there's no such thing as a 3-person worm. So they were, and there's 2-person worms, but there
is a such thing. But
what do you mean?
Like they modify a 4-person worm, right? So like that was like what they had here.
Oh,
and
there is a 3-person worm, so they use it.
Right, but what I'm saying is like they had like here they had the 4-person worm.
Got it. I understand now. Okay.
And like we were told like it's a 3-person worm, and like there was no such like 3-person worm here, and they're apparently testing it out in the back, and like it across any division it wasn't going to happen, so they just scrapped it.
What was 2 was too hard?
Yeah, like
because they were using a 4-person worm on 3 people.
Yes.
Got it. Okay,
yeah.
I understand.
Yes, and so they decided to modify with kettlebell hand cleans and
Jesus Christ,
and kettlebell thrusters. So they're like, you don't like the movement, do the movement some more. So it'll be interesting for that. Obviously a little bit more low stakes. And it's a big chipper, like 120 kettlebell hang cleans amongst the 3 people. But it should be fun. I tell my athletes like, because one of them's essentially in first, and it's going to take a lot for them to not be in first with the point spread. The other one's in last out of the 4 teams, and it's going to take a lot for them to jump it all. So I was like, hey, like with this being a chipper where you're getting 2-to-1 work to rest, like go until your grip basically fails. Like just hold on to it and see what happens.
James Hobart thinks it's a disaster. See,
I love how you're hanging on to that, even though it's supposedly been disproven.
It's been denied by James.
Yes.
It certainly hasn't been disproven.
Fair enough.
That's fine.
The only time it'll happen is if CrossFit comments in James's live, and James's hands are like this.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he hasn't
never seen him in the room.
No, I don't think so.
No,
they might have. James has been live.
Lito's saying maybe they didn't have enough signups. I think something to just consider is that it was teams of 4 like mixed teams last year. So I actually haven't seen like what the numbers look like on the male side, because both my teams are female teams. But it could be that that just there's a lot of male teams and not a lot of female teams. There's 6 teams in the 55 plus, and there's 4 teams in the 45 to 54. So I think it's a unique kind of thing, but yeah. All right, and then it was actually cool because Bob was actually addressing the athletes in event 5, being like, hey guys, like just so you're aware, we'll send out a full email write up, like we're not going to use the worm, and they just kind of had mentioned that it's like it's going to be some kettlebells and some burpees. And we're like, cool. I was thinking it was going to be like synchro kettlebell, like jerks, like in a line, which I think would have been kind of cool. Like, you know, like, and then literally like lunge together in a line while holding on to kettlebells. Maybe I should program the Masters CrossFit Games, but you know,
that sounds like there's nothing that can go wrong.
What could go wrong? I mean, like Crash did the synchro squats. Maybe, I don't know. I think it would be fun. I mean, what's
You're saying
more?
synchro lunges with kettlebells on their shoulders? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, shoot, what's more, like, is that less dangerous than like a 400-pound worm on their shoulders?
Think it's dangerous.
No.
Yeah.
I also think you just compared Masters athletes that didn't qualify for the games to Crash qualifiers, which are basically
I'm just saying the concept of squatting with a kettlebell. Like, or performing a movement with a kettlebell as a team, where it's just, you know, essentially the person in the team dictates and sets the pace, and then everybody follows. But you know, I misunderstood here on the podcast. Yeah.
CrossFit's going in tonight. He's bored.
Yeah.
James is bored. No.
I actually, that's my only like fanboy moment is James taught my level 1, and
that's cool.
And this was in 2017.
CrossFit, do you remember?
Yeah, and I went up to him and I was like, "Oh my gosh, can I have a picture with you, please?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, man." And it was just so funny. And this is like such a unique thing in the level 1 where it's like, I mean, I've been doing CrossFit for 2 years maybe, and like I just turned old enough to get my level 1, and got
is there
it.
An age requirement?
Yeah, you had to be 17.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I mean, at least when I did it, yeah, you had to be 17. And I started when I was 15. And also did not have $1,000. But I went and it was still $1,000. And I was just so shocked at the amount of people who like, because they asked the question, obviously, at every level 1, like, raise your hand if this is your first time either in a CrossFit gym or doing a CrossFit workout. And like half the gym raised their hands. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what? Which I mean, I think is really, really cool. Like, you know, kind of an interesting financial decision.
Yeah,
but
I'm actually blown away by that.
I mean, yeah, it was a lot of people. I did mine up in Baltimore, Maryland, and went to like ask for a picture. And again, I think there were a lot of people that were around me that were like, why is this guy asking for a picture from an instructor? Like, and it was kind of funny. So I mean, CrossFit, if that is you, that's cool. So
I love it.
You were 17?
I was, yeah.
Yeah. And so what was that, like 3 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, you know, at that point, like the joke kind of like it just each time you use it, loses like a little bit of the twing.
Only to you, but not
I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I guess that's a shameless plug to go get go take an L1.
Yeah,
how's your? If you haven't.
You studying? I know. I think I asked you this recently, but are you studying for the L3 yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing? What are you?
I'm perpetually studying.
What am I starting
L3.
with on the studying? I went through the whole L1 guide to begin with, and now I'm just on to the L2.
They give you like resource materials too, like in terms of specific journal articles to look through. Yeah.
Sort of.
It's
like
a loose
250.
Yeah, I mean,
links.
yeah,
it's like 250 articles.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also helpful to, if you know anyone who has recently taken it, just speaking to them. And
right.
There is an article that they encourage you to read that was written by a guy who took it. Now it's been a while since it was written, but anyway, yeah.
It's interesting, just the evolution of all of that. Like, I mean, I remember when the L2 became like the in-person, with it being a test that you take, and my friend went to it and he was like, dude, this was so hard because they like grilled you in person and like in a positive way, but like they really broke you down as a coach and wanted you to be better. And yeah, I'm not saying it's like easier now, but it's easier now. I mean, it's essentially like, you know, it's a great in-person course, but you know, they kind of made the test like completion as opposed to pass fail. But yeah, really, you know,
is that true?
There's like BS in
Good
there
job.
about barbell maintenance. Barbell maintenance is important, man. I got side story.
Is that true?
I mean, if it should be, because let me tell you, it'll save people a lot of stress. I was, and this was before I could even take my L1, because you know I needed a key to the gym that I was at, and you know I honestly couldn't afford a membership, like being in college. So I did the good old like maintenance the equipment and like mop the floors and stuff. And, you know, was told to maintenance the barbells and like help them spin. And I watched the Rogue made video on like how to, you know, take the snap ring pliers and like take a cloth and like use the cloth to pull the snap ring out. And I'm like, I don't need a fucking cloth. And like, I I'm sitting there at a gym like Friday night, 9 p.m. Everyone left, and like I had to, do all of it, and I like, take the pliers, pull it out, and like lose the snap ring, and like do that on like 4 different barbells. So I'm like, it's like 10 p.m. at night. I'm like searching through everywhere because like you can have the barbell without the outer snap ring, but then there's 2 like half washers and then an inner snap ring. And if you lose the inner snap ring, you can't put the barbell like bushing back on. So I have like 4 barbells where like I can't put them back on. And I'm just like, all right, well, I have to tell the gym owner that we can't use 4 barbells right now. And because this isn't like equipment you can buy at like Home Depot. It's like special order like barbell collars and stuff. So it was absolutely the worst thing in the world. So yeah, I'm glad that that's in the L3 because it should be.
We're gonna mess around and find out.
Yeah.
Also, CrossFit, blink twice if you're a seminar staff member.
Dude, he's someone who's
Has
been
to
around
be.
longer than all of us
Yeah.
combined.
It's
For
Greg.
sure. Yeah,
Dude.
right.
If
It's-
any, that'd be sick.
It's just so much time. I don't know.
Wait, what's he saying here? You know that you work for membership. You're giving me membership. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I think we're gonna
Yep.
get kicked out
Yep.
at 10.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of, where's the turf floor?
On the-
Which is that
that's
supposed to
all
be?
the
on?
way down
GHD.
That's a GHD one. Okay.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I
carpet.
haven't been down there
Yeah.
like since.
But yeah,
all
it's
my
a
other stuff's on
carpet
the
floor.
other
It's
side.
like
Floor,
it looks
all the
like
way
the
at the
High
end.
Rocks carpet.
Nice, because
Yep.
there was no problems with the sleds in the High Rocks carpet.
Well, just there wasn't any except this year, right? The one.
Oh
that
no,
they
there was
just,
like some massive issues.
yeah,
with
they
it.
just changed it, right?
Yep.
And that's when there
I
were
don't
issues.
know. Yeah, I just remember there's a funny video that was floating
Yeah,
around.
the guy
social
was
media.
like almost pushing it,
yeah,
and then like one wouldn't move.
yeah, and,
yeah.
and he was basically like took his like opponent in his next lane
Yeah, that was
sled,
wild.
pushed it a ton, and was like, "See."
Yeah.
So
CJ's example of things going wrong with it earlier today was that an athlete just pees on it and makes it easier for like it was like what
that is something that you
what
can
an example.
only
You just
bring up
pee on
at
your
a
lane.
masters
And then-
competition.
I mean, it's a heavy deadlift. It's not like the craziest.
No,
thing.
it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, you just throw a double under in there and you're good to go.
Bro.
Yep.
100%. All
Okay.
right.
Well, yeah, let's wrap. Tomorrow we will be back. I think that the game plan is 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Of course, we'll go ahead and schedule it. We should, I believe, be with Chase Ingram
Let's go.
for that
Awesome.
one. Yeah, and then
I'm getting booted off and bringing
Yeah, you're out.
somebody else better on.
You're up.
hey, you're great.
No, you
Thank
did
you.
great.
Thank
You carried the
Thank you.
podcast.
Seriously.
You always do. I love having you on the podcast. I just wish you didn't have such a night schedule like
Well, I mean,
Bennett.
yeah. I mean, you're also like East Central Time, man.
I know that whole hour.
You gotta
is
move
tough.
like 45 minutes east. I feel like
It's 2.5 hours east.
that's so crazy to me. The state of
It's
Florida
fucking crazy.
constantly baffles me.
Yeah, and then of course he complains about that, but then I do a 7 o'clock one in the morning. You can't do that one either because you're still sleeping from the night before. You got to get your 13 hours of beauty sleep every night.
dude. Absolutely, I love
All
sleeping.
right. Anyways,
Kenneth says he wants more Nelson. Look at you, Nelson.
we all need
They
more
all
Nelson.
do.
You
Just
are
wait
I'm
till
gonna sneak into
My-
his bed tonight.
I-
It's fine.
He also goes by melons
I
and
am.
made a deal with himself when he was 8 years old that he
All
would
right.
always gravitate
right.
to blue things. And so he was
Yes.
eating blue ice cream the other night. So that's Nelson.
Yeah, I sleep 13 hours, but have enough blue 11 in me to like kill a Victorian child. So
All right.
And on that note,
See you guys in the
we'll see
morning.
you in the morning.